I go to my house. Well, it's actually my house. It's her house, but you know when you give the girl so many gifts and the gifts supersede the price of the house, you think the house is yours, but it's not.
Mike Tyson is a legendary boxer who was an undisputed world champion in the late 80s and is still the most recognizable person from the world of boxing. In this video, we will tell you about the great athlete, reveal interesting facts about his life, and figure out what led the boxer to financial collapse. Mike Tyson. What happened to Iron Mike and his millions? Michael Gerard Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966 in Brooklyn, New York. His biological father was a native of Jamaica, taxi driver Purcell Tyson, who abandoned the family before the birth of the boy. At that time, his mother, Lorna Mae Smith, who worked as a call girl, was already raising two children, son Rodney and daughter Denise. The boy considered Jimmy Kirkpatrick to be his father, a local pimp who lived with Lorna for less than a year and left her shortly after Michael was born. Tyson found out that Jimmy is not his father only at the age of 38. However, as a child, the future boxer was very proud of who his named father was. After all, Mike grew up in a criminal neighborhood where this occupation, unlike driving a taxi, was considered cool. Tyson was a vulnerable and shy child and had absolutely no ability to stand up for himself. Besides, he lisped, which made him a target for bullying. The boy was teased by his classmates, neighborhood boys, and even his older brother. Often, Mike had to hide from his abusers on the roof of the house, where the only company he had was pigeons. The boy not only fed the birds, but also shared his feelings with them. The love of birds played the role of a catalyst that made Tyson stand up for himself for the first time. One day, a local bully tore the head off one of his pigeons, which sent Mike into an extreme rage. He beat the guy with the ferocity that no one expected from him. Since then, everyone in the neighborhood respected the boy and even accepted him into a local gang engaged in robberies. Funnily enough, even after starting a criminal life, Tyson didn't forget about his favorite birds. At the age of 10, he robbed a house and spent all the money on pigeon food. His criminal activity could not go unpunished. By the age of 13, Mike was arrested 38 times after he was sent to Tryon, a special school for juvenile delinquents. There, the boy met the famous boxer Muhammad Ali, who came to the facility to talk to troubled teens. After that meeting, Tyson decided to devote his life to boxing. Mike told his PE teacher, Bobby Stewart, a former boxer, about his intention, but he made a condition to the guy that he would train him only if Tyson took up his studies and would not violate discipline. Surprisingly, Mike, who was considered mentally challenged, really improved his academic performance. The future boxing legend had huge potential and was much stronger than his peers. For example, at the age of 13, he could lift a 220-pound barbell in the bench press. At one point, Stewart realized that the student had surpassed him and he couldn't teach him anything more. Then the man introduced the 14-year-old to coach Cus D'Amato. During the very first meeting, the legendary coach was so impressed with Tyson's abilities that he made every effort and used every connection to make him a world champion. D'Amato surrounded the guy with a team of professionals, while Mike himself greedily absorbed everything related to boxing. He watched videos of fights and read sports literature. In 1981, 15-year-old Tyson first entered the ring at the Holyoke Club in New York, where he was given the nickname Tank. Even then, Mike chose his own unique style. He entered the ring without musical accompaniment, without a robe, in black trunks and boxer shoes on bare feet. According to him, this way he felt like a gladiator. During the year, the boxer held 6 fights, of which he lost only 1. At the same time, Tyson earned his first title. He became the champion of the Youth Olympic Games. In 1982, Mike's mother died of cancer, and since the guy was underage, D'Amato, along with his common-law wife Camilla, took custody of Tyson. By the way, the woman was originally from Ukraine, and the boxer loved her very much, calling her White Mom. At first, the boy treated his guardian with distrust and even returned to his former life. On weekdays he trained, and on weekends he came to Brooklyn where he was engaged in robberies. However, the wise coach patiently waited for Mike to realize what was more important to him, and indeed, the young man gave up on criminal activity, becoming the most devoted disciple of D'Amato. In the same 1982, Tyson competed at the Youth Olympic Games, where he again won gold. The secret of his success was not only in using the peekaboo style, which allowed Tyson to knock out the strongest opponents, but also in the fact that Mike perfectly mastered the art of psychological influence, instilling fear with just a glance. In 1983, the young man became the silver medalist of the Golden Gloves tournament. He also won the national championship, repeating this success the following year. By that time, Tyson had started winning all the fights and became the main candidate for the US Olympic team. However, in the qualifying fight, Mike unexpectedly lost to Henry Tillman. This was the end of Tyson's amateur career, after which D'Amato began to prepare the boxer for the professional ring. In March of 1985, 18-year-old Mike had a fight against Hector Mercedes, whom he knocked out in the first round. However, in the next 15 fights, he won in a similar way. During the first fights, the young man earned from $500 to $1,000, then his fees increased to $30,000. In November of the same year, Cus D'Amato died of pneumonia, which was a great loss for the boxer, who loved the coach like his own father. In January 1986, Tyson met Mike Jamison in the ring, who became the first boxer who managed to hold out until the 5th round, until the guy knocked him out. Then Mike had many successful fights against strong opponents, such as Jesse Ferguson, James Tillis, as well as Mitch Green, who after the fight with Tyson did not enter the ring at all for 7 years. At the time, the athlete earned an average of $250,000 per fight. The boxer gained popularity by fighting the most promising fighter at that time, Marvis Frazier, who had only one defeat. In the first round, Mike sent the opponent into a heavy knockout. For the fight, Tyson earned $450,000. A month later, he sent Jose Rebalta to a technical knockout. Even then, the boxer had the nickname Iron Mike. During the same period, the talented boxer signed a contract with promoter Don King, who is famous for organizing the most spectacular and profitable fights. Mike also started receiving cameo offers. The young man appeared in episodes of the TV series Webster and Who's the Boss. In November 1986, Tyson entered the ring against WBC world champion Trevor Berbick and defeated him by technical knockout. In the fight, Mike set 2 world records at once, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion at the age of 20 and the first person whose punch forced an opponent to get up and fall 3 times in a row. For this fight, the boxer earned $1.5 million. The very next year, in a fight against James Smith, Tyson defended his WBC world title and won the WBA title, earning $2 million. Then Mike defended the championship title in a duel against Pinklon Thomas, receiving $2.5 million. In August 1987, a unique fight took place between the undefeated WBC and WBA champion Mike Tyson and the undefeated IBF champion Tony Tucker, in which Mike won by unanimous decision of the judges and became the absolute heavyweight champion of the world and the first in the history of boxing who managed to get all 3 titles in 1 year. The boxer earned $2.5 million for the fight. In the same year, having knocked out Tyrell Biggs, Iron Mike defended the champion title, receiving $2.5 million for the fight. Meanwhile, the public's attention was also focused on the personal life of the boxer, who changed girls like gloves. Among his girlfriends was 17-year-old model Naomi Campbell, whom he met at one of the parties. However, a few months later at another party, the couple broke up after Mike beat Naomi up. This was not the only case of the athlete's violent behavior. In the summer of 1987, Tyson was arrested after he injured a parking lot employee who stood up for his colleague who was sexually harassed by the boxer. As a result, the case was closed and Mike paid a fine of $105,000. One of the reasons for this behavior is manic depressive psychosis. Mike was diagnosed with this in his youth. In 1988, Tyson defended the title of absolute champion, meeting in the ring with the world-famous Larry Holmes, who lost by technical knockout for the first time. Mike earned $5 million for the fight. He also defeated Tony Tubbs, receiving $10 million, and Michael Spinks, whom he knocked out in the first round, winning the title of world champion according to The Ring magazine. In this fight, Tyson set a record, earning $22 million. At that time, the largest fee in boxing history for the shortest fighting time, 91 seconds. That same year, Mike got married for the first time. His fiancée was the actress Robin Givens, who at that time was already pregnant. However, a few months later, the marriage began to collapse after the girl had a miscarriage. Givens publicly accused Tyson of physical abuse and cheating, and he, in turn, called his wife calculating and insidious, and was even sure that she invented pregnancy to get closer to his money. A year later, the marriage was officially dissolved, and Robin managed to sue the ex-spouse for $10 million. Over time, the boxer told the media that another reason for the divorce was Givens' infidelity with aspiring actor Brad Pitt, who, according to Mike, begged not to kill him. In 1989, a turning point occurred in Tyson's career. He fired his coach and disbanded the team, after which his career began to decline. During that period, Mike paid less attention to training and increasingly abused alcohol. Although he won the fights against Frank Bruno and Carl Williams, earning a total of $12 million, the fight with Buster Douglas ended in defeat for him. This was his first defeat in his professional career. For this fight, Mike earned $6 million. During the same period, the boxer had illegitimate children, the son of D'Amato Kilrain and the daughter of Mikey Lorna. After the defeat, Mike managed to pull himself together. He received therapy and resumed training, and as a result, he defeated Henry Tillman, Alex Stewart, and twice Donovan Ruddock. In total, for 4 fights, Tyson earned $21 million. A series of victories was interrupted by a loud scandal. In 1991, the boxer was accused of sexually assaulting an 18-year-old beauty contestant, Desiree Washington. In February of 1992, Mike was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Shortly before that, Tyson converted to Islam. In 1993, the first documentary about the boxer was released, Fallen Champ: The Untold Story of Mike Tyson. Subsequently, many more films about the boxer's life were created. After serving 3 years, the boxer was released on bail, after which he returned to the ring. In 1995, Iron Mike's fights against Peter McNeely and Buster Mathis took place, in which Tyson won, earning a total of $35 million. In 1996, after defeating Frank Bruno, Tyson won the WBC champion title, and after defeating Bruce Seldon, he received the WBA title, becoming a 3-time world champion. Mike earned $30 million for each fight. However, in the same year, the heavyweight boxer lost the championship title. Evander Holyfield defeated him by technical knockout. According to The Ring magazine, this confrontation was called the Fight of the Year, but the public could not accept the outcome of the fight and demanded a rematch, considering Tyson the favorite. In 1997, a rematch took place, which became the most expensive match at that time. But this time, Mike suffered a defeat as well. The boxer was disqualified because he bit off Holyfield's ear. For each of the fights, Tyson earned $30 million, although he was fined $3 million for an outburst in the latter and had his boxing license revoked. In the same year, Mike got married for the second time. His fiancée was a pediatrician, Monica Turner. Shortly before the wedding, Monica gave birth to Tyson's daughter Raina, and a year later a son Amir. In 1998, the heavyweight fighter appeared as a guest at WrestleMania 14, where he earned $3 million. In the same year, Tyson again had problems with the law. After the boxer beat up 2 motorists, he was sentenced to 2 years of probation, a fine of $5,000, and 200 hours of community service. At the same time, Mike sued promoter Don King with a demand to pay him $100 million in compensation for damage caused during their joint work, but the case did not go to court and was settled for $14 million. In 1999, Tyson had his boxing license restored, after which he met in the ring with Francois Botha, whom he defeated, and with Orlin Norris, who refused to enter the ring after the first round due to an injury. As a result, the fight was declared invalid. In total, the boxer earned $19 million. In the same year, the man starred as himself in the films Black and White and Play It to the Bone. By the way, he previously appeared in several TV series and music videos. In 2000, Mike had 3 fights, 2 of which ended with his victory. The fight against Andrew Galota was declared invalid because illegal substances were found in Tyson's blood. Mike later admitted that he often used other people's samples to pass doping tests before fights. Mike earned $28 million for the fight. At the same time, the man starred in the films Bolivia and Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles.
My name's Mikey. What's yours?
Hey, Mike, I'm Mike.
Oh, hi, Mike. I'm Mick. Mikey's dad.
Mikey, Mick, Mikey. You gotta be kidding me, right?
No.
Okay.
In 2001, the boxer defeated Brian Nielsen, earning $5 million, and the next year he met Lennox Lewis in the ring in a duel for the world title. At that time, Tyson was not in the best shape. He was overweight and had addiction problems, so it was not surprising that Lewis knocked him out. This fight became the highest-grossing event in the history of boxing, and the boxers themselves received $35 million for the fight. In 2003, Mike knocked out Clifford Etienne in the first round, earning $5 million. Before this fight, the boxer got his famous face tattoo. In the same year, Tyson's marriage with Monica broke up. For 6 years, the girl put up with constant infidelity of her husband, but one affair, which led to the birth of his illegitimate son Miguel in 2002, put an end to the couple's relationship. After the divorce, Monica sued the boxer for $6.5 million. In 2004, Mike was defeated in a fight against Danny Williams. The next fight against Kevin McBride in 2005 ended in a loss as well. In the 6th round, the exhausted Tyson refused to continue the fight. As a result, McBride was awarded a victory by technical knockout. For the last 2 fights, the boxer earned $13 million, after which he announced his retirement. In the same 2005, another athlete's illegitimate daughter, Exodus, was born. Unfortunately, at the age of 4, the girl died as a result of an accident. In 2006, Mike took part in 12 exhibition bouts with boxer Corey Sanders. Tyson knocked Sanders down in the first round and then confidently outplayed him for the rest of the fight. During this period, he managed to appear in films When Will I Be Loved, Rocky Balboa, and The Hangover, which became one of Tyson's most striking film works.
Man, where you get that cop car from?
We stole it from these dumbass cops.
Nice. Nice, guys. High five. Oh. Yes.
In 2009, Mike got married for the 3rd time. His fiancée was Lahika Spicer, 11 years younger than him. Interestingly enough, in 2008, the girl was sentenced to prison for fraud and found out about pregnancy a week before her imprisonment. The girl spent 6 months in prison and soon gave birth to Tyson's daughter Milan, and 2 years later his son Morocco was born. This marriage became really happy for the athlete. His spouse supports him in every possible way, and thanks to her, Mike got rid of bad habits and even was a vegan for several years. During this period, he appeared in the films The Hangover Part 2, Scary Movie 5, the TV series Entourage, Franklin and Bash, Breaking In, How I Met Your Mother, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and other projects. Also, the animated series Mike Tyson Mysteries was released, the screenwriter and producer of which was Mike himself. In 2013, Tyson wrote his autobiography Undisputed Truth, which became a bestseller, and a few years later, he wrote another book called Iron Ambition. Then, he appeared in the films Entourage, Meet the Blacks, Tour de Pharmacy, China Salesman, Kickboxer Retaliation, Hamlet Faroon, Yip Man 3, and others.
Let's see whose fists are the fastest. Yours or mine?
In 2020, Mike's exhibition bout against Roy Jones took place, which ended in a draw. Tyson sent the $7.5 million he earned to charity. By the way, in 2012, he created a fund to help children from disadvantaged families. In 2021, Mike starred in the movie Vendetta, and the following year his filmography was replenished with the film Liger. Over the years of his career, Tyson has appeared in various shows and events, earning an average of $75,000 per performance. He also signed many advertising contracts, for example, with brands Pepsi, Kodak, Toyota, Nintendo, and others. The former boxer is also known to legally own a marijuana ranch, as well as a candy business that produces marmalade in the shape of a bitten ear. During his career, Tyson earned more than $400 million. Today, this amount would be equal to $700 million adjusted for inflation, but his real net worth is estimated at $10 million. And this is far from the worst-case scenario, because in 2003, his financial situation was so deplorable that Mike, with a debt of $23 million, was forced to declare bankruptcy. This happened because Tyson was spending on mistresses, booze, and illegal substances. He also got robbed blind by Don King. Also, a lot of money was spent on 2 divorces, child support for 8 children, and the salaries of the lawyers who kept pulling him out of trouble. The celebrity also had unusual expenses, so $400,000 were spent on keeping pigeons and Bengal tigers as pets. Mike bought a golden bath for $2.2 million, $800,000 were spent on diamond-coated watches, $7 million on a diamond necklace, and $500,000 was wasted on each of the many parties. And that's not all. He also spent about $5 million on a collection of 100 cars, 19 of which he gave to friends. Here are just some models: Cadillac Eldorado, Rolls-Royce Silver Spur, Rolls-Royce Corniche, Mercedes-Benz SL, Ferrari F50, Ferrari Spider, as well as Lamborghini, Jaguar, and Bentley Continental. At one time, Mike owned luxury properties: a mansion in Ohio, which he sold in 1999 for $1 million, after which the house was converted into a church, a residence in Connecticut with 52 rooms, his own nightclub, billiard room, and casino, which he sold in 2003 to rapper 50 Cent for $4 million. He also had a 7-bedroom villa in Maryland with a cinema and a spa at his disposal. The boxer sold it after his divorce from Monica Turner for $8.5 million. Some scenes of the movie The Hangover were filmed in his mansion in Las Vegas. In 2016, this property was sold for almost $2 million. Tyson now lives with his family in Henderson, Nevada. In 2016, he bought a mansion there for almost $3 million. The 8,000 square feet property includes 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and spacious living areas. There is also a swimming pool and a porch with a barbecue area. Throughout his career, Mike was repeatedly named Boxer of the Year, and for his achievements, he was included in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Do you like Mike Tyson?
Don't make me come back for him.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.